It's going really well so far. We're sat second in the Premier Division. We haven't lost a game. We've got one game in hand over Westgate. If we were to win that, we'd go back top. So it's a little bit of a tussle up there with two or three sides. But, we've stepped up from Division 2 last year. And we asked to be promoted into the Premier Division because we felt with the squad we had, we could compete. And so far, so good. We're showing that is the case. So, yeah, we're doing really well. We're doing really well.
Before we get to this weekend's big cup final, just a bit of a general catch-up. How's the season gone for Doncaster Toll Bar?
Yeah, it's going really well so far. We're sat second in the Premier Division. We haven't lost a game. We've got one game in hand over Westgate. If we were to win that, we'd go back top. So it's a little bit of a tussle up there with two or three sides. But, we've stepped up from Division 2 last year. And we asked to be promoted into the Premier Division because we felt with the squad we had, we could compete. And so far, so good. We're showing that is the case. So, yeah, we're doing really well. We're doing really well.
And that's cracking stuff, really, when you put into context, the backdrop of COVID. I mean, what's the atmosphere like at the club more generally? Making that step up. I'm imagining it's pretty good, the vibe at the club.
Yeah, it is really good. I mean, this team's been together for quite a while now. We were in the Yorkshire Men's League previously in the top division. And then the team fell away a little bit, but we re-entered the summer competition two seasons prior to COVID. And we were in Division 5. So we had, a couple of really good seasons, and we're back up where we feel we should be. That's where we were before when I was here, and we're back there now, which was ultimately one of the quick goals, which, mid-term goal was to get us back into the top leagues of the Yorkshire Men's League with a view to going probably higher than that as well. But we know we've got to have some sustained success at this level. But the club, it's going really well. We've got junior age groups. Our tops club is, thriving, which has given us a new team year on year at the younger end. And then we've recently started a masters team as well post-COVID. And I think that's, maybe down to COVID a little bit, where some people have realised that they want to get involved, they want to do some stuff and want to be healthy. And, some of the old guys that used to play before are getting back involved. And, that's a real, it's exploded really at the club, the Masters. So there's a real good vibe about the club in regards to everything. The club's done really well. It's really well managed by the committee, headed by Wayne Morton, our chairman. So we're in a really good place. We're really lucky with the work we've done. Really good.
And with regards to this cup run and this event this weekend, how's the cup run been more generally? Because you mentioned the league form, but that's transferred itself to the cup as well.
Yeah, most teams got a bye in the preliminary round, which we did as well. But then, the draw's been quite kind to us. We've had 3 home games. Which is always good. But our first match, we went straight up against Westgate, which were the highly fancied team, I guess, as we were a bit unknown at the early stages of the season. I think Westgate were always touted as one of the top team, going to be one of the top teams. And that was a real battle, real good game. We were 16-0 down really early. 10 minutes in, 16-0 down. They started really well, took full credit to them. And we had to dig in and really grind a result out, and we scored in the last couple of minutes. We only led, right, and then the ref gave a penalty for us to kick the goal and win the match. It was the only time we led was basically at full time. So that was a real tough one, but that set the precedent for us. And we were really confident then that we'd knocked off one of the top teams, and we thought, what? We should really back ourselves here as getting to a final. We played New Earswick at home, which was a little bit more of a comfortable win. And then we played Bramley at home again, which was a similar, on paper, they were both, 20-something point margins. But tough games in their own right. So, we've worked really hard to get to where we are. We've been fortunate with home draws, that's for sure. But, we'll take that.
And what's your sense on your opponents this weekend, because they're from the division below? In this cup run you've gone on, I think you've scored above 30 points in every single game thus far, haven't you? So what's your thoughts on the challenge this weekend?
Yeah, well, last year we played Almondbury twice. They were in the same division as us. We were both in Division 2. We finished first and second. They won at our place, and then we won at their place. So we do know quite a bit about them. With YouTube and whatnot, you can watch some of the games as well. And, we know a fair bit about them, and we know that it's going to be a tough challenge. I see them, if I'm honest, as probably a Premier Division, from what I've seen of our teams in our division and what we saw of them last year. I view them as a Premier Division team. I think they're that level, they're that standard. And their results in the competition will probably tell you that. They've beaten 3 Premier Division teams, and they'll probably they'll think they'll be confident of knocking off a 4th one with us. But we know what they're about, I think, and they'll likewise probably have a bit of inside info with us, with the games that we played last year. But it's going to be a tough game, that's for sure. They're a big side, big physical team, very enthusiastic, and I think that could be a real good game, real blockbuster, I think, especially early on.
And this game will be live on our league as well as the whole day more generally at Mount Pleasant. What do you think this event means for the club? Because I'm imagining there's going to be a fair few supporters heading over to Batley as well as watching it at home. What do you make of the event overall and what this means for the next step for the club?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Brilliant that our league show games at this level. That's fantastic fantastic for all the cup games and cup finals that are going to get shown. I think it's going to create some excitement. I told the players yesterday that it's probably going to be on our league and check the schedule, and everyone's like, oh yeah, it's on. So we're letting everyone know within the club. We're taking a good following with us, a couple of coaches, and then there's some cars going as well, a lot of cars going there as well. So yeah, there's a real buzz about it. We played the Yorkshire Cup final at the beginning of the year, which we lost to Hunslet Parkside, who were a very good team, National Conference Premier Division side, and we don't feel that as a team we showed what we're all about. We didn't think we played that well on that day. We're looking forward to, especially in front of the cameras, and in front of a lot of travelling supporters, to show really what we're about, I think, because we're a much better side than we showed that day. And we're on form as well. So we go into it really confident and excited, and the exposure is fantastic from our league. It's really, really good.
And with regards to, what this final and what this season means more generally, because like we touched upon, the league campaign's going pretty well as well in the Premier Division of the Yorkshire Men's League, a cup final here, coming off the back of COVID and everything that's going on with the club, with the Tots and the Masters. How's this season? What's your hopes for not just this season, but the springboard that this season potentially brings for the club?
Yeah, I think that the season so far, and it is just so far, we've had a lot of success in probably the last 10 years. We've won sort of 6 or 7 trophies, from Pennine League to, and all their cup competitions. We've been in Yorkshire Cup finals. We're a team and a club that we have had success, and, that's what we want. But it's a springboard. That's what we see it as. We could easily lose this game at the weekend, and then not win the league competition or not get to the playoffs or whatever, and that would be disappointing, especially after the start of the season we've had. Things can change really quickly in amateur rugby. You think you're going really well, and one defeat can really derail you. But the lads are really focused. I keep them focused, and we have a lot of high expectations of each other. It is hopefully a springboard to bigger things, but we're all in on this competition. Yorkshire Men's League, I think this is the first year they've introduced a cup competition. So to be the first team to win the main major final and have our names on that cup first before anyone else is a real motivator for us as a team and as a club.
Well, Ian Tattersall, head coach of Doncaster Tollbar, a big thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join us this week, and all the best this weekend.
Thank you, and thank you to our league for all the representation and exposure. Brilliant. Thank you very much.